Your movies, music, and games can only be as good as your network speed and strength. Slow means
Game over.
but the Philippines' fastest mobile data network means
Game changing.
choose the network that gives you what you truly enjoy. How do you know about this Giga Life?
Simple and smart ako. When uncertainty is our reality, we rise above with the things that matter. Gigify happiness. Gigify love. Gigify friendship. Gigify dreams. Gigify hope. With smart Giga music, video, games, work, and stories, we let our passions run free in the new world we face together. Smart, live Giga.
Realme smartphone. Dare to leap.
Watch me, feel me, Hey, you wanna go? Just follow me. Let's go. Let's follow me.
Realme Watch. Time to be smarter. Realme Dare to leap.
Don't pay cash. Para may balik bayad ka.
You've got me on the edge.
Legit, right? Not quite. Just like your disposable razor. It's time you switch your disposable razor for your legit first shave so you can be every bit legit. Gillette Mac 3.
For a closer shave, less irritation, switch
To Gillette Mac 3.
May mga masayang times, may mga bad times, and yung mga experiences na yung humubog sa akin, so yung mga dadalhin ko this MPL Season 6 para mas maging better pa ako and yung team namin. As long as may Venus sa Onic, hindi basta-basta matatalo ang Onic. Si Venus, bago pa siya makapasok ng MPL, ay isang estudyante na kumukuha ng course ng computer science na nangangarap maging isang magaling na computer programmer. Bata pa lang talaga ako, mahilig na ako sa mga computer games. Pangarap niya din talaga maging pro player. And luckily, nakamit ko yun sa Mobile Legends. Hindi ko naman talaga na-imagine na makakapasok ako ng MPL. Talagang sinubukan ko lang, talagang sinubukan lang ng team namin. Pinakamahirap na challenge na binato sa akin ng buhay is yung pagiging gay ko. Kasi sobrang hirap, di ko alam kung paano ko yaan yung sarili ko sa society. Especially sa ML community. May natatakot ako kung anong kakalabasan or kung anong masasabi sa akin ng mga tao. Mas madami pa din talagang supporter compared sa mga basher or sa mga nag-judge sa akin. I mean, mapakita ko yung sarili ko at mahalin ako ng mga tao. Sobrang saya lang talaga. Laging first impression nila sa akin. Lagi nila sinasabi sa akin na mukha akong masungin, mukha akong intimidating, ganyan. Hindi naman talaga. Kasi si Venus talaga, masiyahin talaga, lalo na pag nakabanding mo. Ang nag-inspire talaga sa akin para mas galingan ko pa is yung family ko talaga. Kasi gustong-gusto ko talaga silang tulungan, especially yung mother ko. Masasabi ko na natutupad ko na yung pangarap ko pa konti-konti. Siguro ang pinaka-natutunan ko as a pro player is hindi ka laging tama. Matuto kang tumanggap ng pagkakamali mo And matuto ka rin makinig sa ibang tao. Pag naging totoo ka sa ibang tao, mas nakukuha mo yung trust nila, mas pinagkakatiwalaan ka nila, mas pinaniniwalaan ka nila. Especially as the captain of Onic PH, para mas makinig sila sa mga decisions ko and sa judgment ko in game. Kung magpapakatotoo ka, mas madaling mabuhay, mas madaling maging masaya. And mahirap kasi magtago sa isang shell. Pakita mo lang sa takong ano at mamahalin ka na nila doon.
At kami nagbabalik for more Mobile Legends action dito lang sa MPLPH Season 6 regular season. And man oh man, ang daming nangyari pero bago ang lahat. Ako si Butters, ang iyong anchor. Kasama ko ngayon si Rockhart, ang aking analyst. What can you say? Ano nga ba nangyayari dito?
We're gonna be having a pretty good game here for NXP versus Onic PH.
But before we head on to the good match na tinatawag natin, bago natin sila pangalanan, pasalamat muna tayo sa ating mga sponsor, our official tournament telco partners, Smart, Squad Up, Rank Up, and keep up with your favorite teams as Smart powers up your game with free games for all. Get up to 14GB for Mobile Legends and Facebook Gaming for 7 days. Simply download the new GigaLife app and choose free games. Our official sponsor, Realme, For all your smartphone gaming needs, Realme has got you covered with the Realme 6 series with an ultra-smooth display, fast charging, and powerful processors. Official sponsor Gillette. Get free diamonds with purchase of Gillette's Mach 3 Razor, Vector 3 Razor, or Blue 3 Simple Force pack and select Pure Gold doors nationwide.
That's right. A partner in esports, PayMaya, get 5% balikbayad when you purchase your gaming pins via PayMaya. The better way to pay. Promo runs until September 15. Our partner in esports, TikTok Live. Search lang din MLBB on TikTok for a chance to win some awesome prizes from our sponsor, and of course, watch the game live on TikTok. Our official gaming headset partner, Logitech G, here like a pro.
And we have Munton that is powering this tournament. Everything is made possible by Munton and the sponsors. So maraming salamat sa inyo. Pero eto ang inaabangan ng community. Dream Chasers. It's going to be Onic PH versus NXP Solid.
Interesting title, Dream Chasers. They are both young, technically young team pa rin naman ng Onic. They have very young players. And they are obviously both after the big crown. Onic PH, syempre, laging nasa podium finish tuwing ever since pumasok sila dito sa MPL. Since Season 4, they have been always going to the playoffs and always going for at least minimum top 3. And on the other side naman is the newest team on the MPL, ang Next Play Solid, na talaga namang gusto talagang bigyan ng talo ang lahat ng teams dito sa MPL.
And ito lang yung masasabi ko dito, for Dream Chasers, it's Onic PH kasi they've been chasing that championship ever since, and they almost got it twice. Nandun na sila sa platform ng Grand Finals. Nasa dulo na sila, kasi they cannot convert that into a championship. Almost to Season 4. But Sunsparks,
that's history.
RPH, formerly Sunsparks, they turn things around. And lagi silang naka-cut off noon. And is it a curse? I don't think it is, because the thing is, yung Onic PH pa rin naman dito, they're looking solid, hindi pa naman sila nag-fall off. But on the other side, we have the front runners dito, the newest team on the block, yung pinaka nag-iingay sa lahat, kinakalampag nila lahat ng social media natin, it's NXP Solid. Pero bago natin pag-usapan ng NXP, kilalanin muna natin ang side ng Onic PH.
Paano nagsimula yung career ko with Dilar, Wise, and Iyaknu? Kung paano namin na-accomplish yung mga pangarap namin sa buhay.
Most memorable moment kasi sa MPLPH is yung mag-champion kami nung MPL Season 3 and mag-represent ng Pilipinas sa MSC 2019.
Pinaka-memorable na nangyari sa akin sa MPL yung umabot kami ng MPL playoffs tapos nalaglag kami sa upper bracket. Dalawang beses kami ng season nalaglag sa upper bracket pero hindi kami nawala ng pag-asa.
Dalawang sunod na finals namin kasi sobrang laking achievement na sa amin nung makalaro ng dalawang beses sa finals. May mga tao dyan na gustong-gustong makarating ng finals. Pero yun, nagawa namin yun ng dalawang sunod.
Di-describe ko yung team ko as mapanakit kasi sasaktan namin kayo di sa MPL Season 6.
Galit na galit at gusto manakit, Onic PH dito with their roster, Oh My Venus, Wise, Iyaknu, Dilar, J, and Basic.
And support the teams by scanning the QR code on the upper right of your screens para naman makita nyo ang kanilang usapan din sa social media. Another team that is very heavy on that platform, that's Onic PH.
And very heavy on TikTok as well.
For sure, for sure.
Now, itong Onic PH, it was a nail-biter against their last opponents. And they got away. Well, last kasi yung yung side ng Signal. But with the other match that they had for Bren Esports, they did not really see things through. Nagkaroon ng problema dito yung Onic PH into converting into that win. And what do you think is the idea or the mindset for Onic PH sa pagpasok nila dito sa laban na to against NXP Solid?
Well, for their mindset, I think they would consider Bren as one of their rivals talaga. So they will expect to have a hard time with NXP Solid that maybe they think that's not gonna be true. Maybe they think that this is a new week, is a new time for us to get out of our slump, na mawala na, oras na para mawala ang ating sumpa with the first game. That's why everyone is gonna be looking at this game 1, especially these guys. Kasi isa ding malakas sa game 1 yung kalaban nila ngayon. That's NXP. So they're gonna be thinking, okay, our mindset today is to win the first one and maybe get some momentum, and we need to stop people from saying na may game 1 curse tayo.
Game 1 curse is a thing for Onic PH. Titigilan ba nila yon? Malalaman natin mamaya. Pero NXP Solid rather, kilalanin naman natin sila. We have Chester, MB, H2O, Rene J, Yawi, Gymnast, QR code on the top of Gymnast. Nakikita nyo yung buhok ni Gymnast, pataas yan. Andun yung QR code.
Tama.
Now, NXP Solid na pag-usapan natin ang matindi dito yung Onic PH. Now, let's put their focus on them. That game with Blacklist, isa yun sa mga pinakamagandang performances na nakita ko from two teams sa MPL.
And I would say that they actually really did perform out of their minds, diba? That was they're a team na mukhang na super lakas nung simula, then they started having a lose streak. Pero no, yung balik nila, it is very impressive. I have to say that is definitely reflected on the draft itself. Nung time na yon, they were having a fun time having Yawi on the Kufra back here. And it goes to show when you give these guys comfort heroes, especially H2O, they can do wonders with these picks.
We've talked about H2O, MB, Rene J, Yawi. Ang ganda ng mga performance nila. But Chester, nung mga unang games niya dun sa may Lolita, yung mga unang Luminous Blast niya, it doesn't really hit people. It didn't really hit people. Pero, eto si Chester, may pagka-clutch yung dating niya nung sa Lolitang yan eh. Nung by the time, yung dalawang huling Luminous Blast niya, those were the best blasts ng game. At nabaliktad niya yung setup na yun.
Exactly.
For the side of NXP Solid against Blacklist International. So, is this the trend for Chester? Baka clutch, Mr. Clutch player.
Oo, Mr. Clutch na ba si Kuya Chester? Or
Pwede naman.
Will we be able to see
Pero
more
kailangan pa natin makita.
Yes. We are going to be able
makita.
to find out whether or not they can do that. Now, ang tanong dito is, will Chester keep going for these tank supports this time? Dahil sa nakita nating magandang performance niya dun sa Lolita? Or will we have him go back to the usual? Will we finally see a Selena once more for Chester na nakita natin nung unang linggo talagang nakakatakot?
Walang preno-preno, walang pag-underestimate, walang pag-overestimate, pantay-pantay dito sa laban na to. Ibibigay muna natin kay Shinbu for his analysis para dito sa series na to. Shinbu, take it away.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters, and I just want to say I feel so excited in analyzing this series between Onic and NXP. So, let's go. Silipin natin ang kanilang head-to-head stats kaagad, mga kaibigan. This is our star match for the night. And the best part about this one is that we have a very even stats that you are seeing right now. Again, gaya nga nang sinasabi natin, yung Lord's Lane per game, bihira mo makikita sa gitna yan kasi napaka-erratic niyan mga tol, especially with the numerator on the Lord's Lane per game being so little. And that falls heavily in favor of the NXP squad. No? Medyo dehado sa side na yun yung Onic PH, and I feel like the .37 to the .16 number is still an outlier naman. But look at the team damage per minute, look at the average game score, and even look at the KDA and average kills per game. Quite even, no? Ang laruan natin, actually I digress, no? KDA average pala falls heavy in favor of NXP. I think the 2.69 is a bit far compared to the 3.14. But you know, para mas madali nyo pong maintindihan yan, tingnan nyo lang kung sino sa bar ang umiilaw. At yan ay lamado ngayon para sa side ng NXP. So, malaking katanungan yan. Actually, there is a trend of slump here for the record of Onic PH and NXP. They're recovering. I think 2 consecutive wins yata yung nakuha ng NXP dito. They have their fair share of great series, no? Although those are 2-1s. And also, I want to emphasize pala, no, sa mga fans dito ng NXP, pag ito na 2-0 ng NXP, they will have the playoffs to be secured. Ilapag na natin sa lamesa yan. Now, on to the team head-to-head. Ito ang pulso ng bayan. Facebook support rate goes closer, no, to 50-50. Though it is gonna be Onic PH that gets the higher wow, vote dito against NXP sa lead, 57.21. I was expecting here, especially with the trend, kung nakasubaybay ka dun sa mga huling laban ng MPL, medyo umu-okay na yung performances ng NXP dito. But I cannot but feel na siguro dahil sa track record ng Onic PH of being regular podium placers, no, ay kaya naman mas naniniwala ngayon yung mga tao na makakalahok sila. Ang dala season win rate nila sits at, 2/3 and goes 1/3 naman para sa NXP dito. And wow, yan lang naman ang pulso ng masa natin. There is a nice fan base din para sa side ng Onic PH. Lalo pa napaka-active din ng kanilang mga players when it comes to TikTok and social media. On to the more critical information, doon na tayo sa player head-to-head, no? Ang ating normal player head-to-head would be onto the side lane, Iaknu and Renny J. I love the running stats. Reflective nung pagka-equal nung mga team head-to-head natin. Ito ang player head-to-head, KDA ni Iaknu at Renny J. Both at sitting at 3.3 and 3.7. I think that's quite close in terms of heroes use. They are quite close pa rin, no? Ang siguro mababanggit ko lang is that Iaknu has more tendency and leaning towards a Balmond pick right now, no? This regular season, much to our questions kaming mga casters, lalo na pag nakita namin yung stats niya. But eto, gusto nyo lagyan nyo pa yan ng something in the middle, Cho. Iaknu kind of shy away on picking up the Cho, allowing for Jay na piliin yan. Lalo na rin yung Cho ngayon ay parang, di pala parang, kundi napaka-viable ngayon ulit onto the support position. But Renny J doesn't shy on picking up the likes of Cho, building that into some sort of an assassin-like split push. Creep cut playstyle, no? By the late game, and even is really willing to pull up the likes of Hellcurt din pagdating dito sa unique heroes use niya. These two are very explosive players. Even Iaknu, yes, okay na rin siya sa kanyang Balmond, although may limitations yung heroes na yan. And there are a lot to be expected from this truly explosive side laners. Punta tayo ngayon sa ating star player head-to-head at walang iba kundi sa ating mga core. No? Malayang performance dito in terms of KDA para kay Wise kung ikukumpara mo kay H2. Sitting actually at a KDA king right now for this regular season. Kahit sabihin natin na nawala sa kanya yung number 1 spot, he still stays and sticks and is expected to roll out with this good KDAs 7 or higher. And yeah, kita nyo naman, 7.44 against 4.19, no? In terms of unique heroes, no surprise on that part. They've been really just, normal and consistent with their heroes pool. Hindi sila masyadong nag-experiment din, no? I think though yung pang 6 yata dyan, 5-5 sana yan. Yung pang 6 sana dyan is I think of the carry na pinili ni H2 dito on their previous games, which is a well-informed carry pick naman, although fallen out of the meta. I think 5 talaga din yung nasa parang mainstream meta carry picks natin ngayon sa mga hero. Yan. So, MVP count, yes, alam natin, halos magka-equal din. This is an exciting match as well, although I think nakadepende pa rin yung performance nila on how their team will enable them. This is our final series, no? Onic versus NXP. Let us see the results. Diretso na tayo sa action mismo at ipasa na natin to sa ating mga casters.
Shinbu, maraming salamat. And Dream Chasers, yes. I have to point out na there are things kasi dito for the certain matchup that I really like. The off-lane setup. Yung Iaknu, Dilar versus itong si Renny J and si MB. It's alam mo yun, parang it's two prodigies or sabihin na natin two of the best or sabihin natin na kapagbigay na ng pangalan para sa kanila sa pagdating sa MPL at Grand Finals material, sabihin natin ito si Dilar at si Iaknu. Pero itong dalawang to, Renny J and MB, ang grabe yung ingay sa kanila grabe yung suporta and kung paano nila siniset yung sarili nila into, the early game skirmishes. There is a lot of potential and there is a lot of things na nakikita natin sa kanila na hindi sila takot maging creative in terms of picking those heroes.
That's true. I mean, especially since MB has been namamando siya na maging Khalid madalas. Either that on the Tams. And Renny J, switching most of the time between Cho and Hellcurt as well. It's working very well for this team, no? And sabi nga ni Shinbu din, Cho is going to be a very pivotal pick between these two teams kasi Iaknu also plays the Cho. Pero syempre, halatang-halata yung pagkakaiba sa playstyle. So, yung mga offlaner talaga ng dalawang teams na to is gonna be very important. Lalo ngayon, going into the draft, they fill different roles. Renegades Cho is a lot more aggressive, more for the kill, more for the push. And Iakno is more for the utility, helping the team get the picks in as a supportive Cho. So, yung bihira ako makita ng Iakno na pinang-carry yung Cho yung super split push, di ba? Mostly taga-sipa talaga yan, mga Ling, mga heroes na kailangan nilang huntingin. And let's go and see if that's gonna be the case here. The usual bans for the meantime with the super tanky offlaners and, of course, the Kufra.
You're seeing Onic PH dito giving that ban on the Thams. Ayaw nila nung setup na 2 picks dito for sa side of NXP Solid na may Thams sila tapos may isa pa silang pocket pick na pwedeng kunin. Probably the Khalid and the Thams, that's going to be really annoying. NXP Solid naman dito, tinanggal nila yung Reynos, yung Hilda kasi ayaw nila nung certain strong lane setup on the side lane with the Reynos and yung aggression nga na papakita ng Hilda. Kasi stacks yan eh. Once na maganda yung early game ng Hilda, you would know na magkakaroon kayo ng problema kapag nakuha niya yung level 4 niya. Kasi papalo at papalo yan at hindi titigil yan.
Yep, facts about Hilda. And this is the ban on the Kufra is actually a lesson learned from the game yesterday we saw with NXP and Blacklist. Pag binigay mo, pag hindi mo binan itong Kufra to, napunta kay Yawi, nako po, maghanda ka na para sa isang napakalupit na labanan. Kasi papahirapan kayo ng NXP.
And here comes the pivot.
Ito na nga, ito na yung pinaka-importanting pick. Inunahan na agad ng Onic.
And even with the Yuzhong available, Onic PH,
diba?
kinuha
May
nila
Yuzhong
agad
na open.
Kinuha nila agad dito. Etong show.
Grabe,
pero
no?
NXP Solid,
may bawi
they secure 2 of the best off-laners, side laners ngayon.
Yun naman ang
on their side. Pero kasi, it's all about the comfort nga dito na tinatawag for Onic PH, nakuha nila yung Cho. Hindi pa natin alam yung Cho kasi na to kung gagamitin ni Jay o gagamitin ni Iakno.
Yeah, because Jay has also been playing the Cho as well.
Cho.
Diba? Very interestingly enough for Onic na okay lang sa kanilang magbigay ng Khalid ng Yuzhong. Lupit.
Since kumuha na dito yung Onic PH ng carry, is it safe na kumuha na rin yung NXP Solid na carry dito? They're gonna go for the lane.
Yeah, para wala ng ban, di ba? Para hindi na pahirapan sa ban mamaya.
Okay.
And very smart move from NXP, I would say.
Aggressive tong setup ng NXP Solid, Hindi mo usually nakikita yung 3 picks na to na core na diretso agad. Kumbaga nagiging mixture yan minsan eh. Support, may isang tank, or may support tank tapos may isang core. Pero dito hindi. Lahat ng core nila nilabas agad nila. Na pwede naman kasing tank yung Khalid. Pero right now, with these matchups, parang naka-set up sila as cores. Diba?
Yep, these are gonna be your main damage dealers. Exactly. And now, ang natitirang picks for NXP most likely will need to be a tank, a good tank, and of course, a very high damage output, long range support. So I'm thinking, baka maban either Valier, Valier, the Chang'e, and of course, I'm sure about the third one, pero I'm thinking,
pag-usapan natin yung Alice. Yung Alice talaga dito, this is probably the best pick na magagawa ng Onic PH for that 2 setup na ginawa dito. Yung 2-pick setup na ginawa dito ng NXP Solid. Khalid, tsaka si Yuzhong, kapag nadikitan sila ng flowing blood, automatic, papasok talaga yan si Alice and he will try to use the ulti para ma-whittle down sila. Not enough to kill them, but probably just to whittle them down. Kasi yun yung nagiging prowess ng isang Alice eh. Hindi siya yung totally na talagang iti-take down ka. Papababain niya yung buhay mo at guguluhin niya yung teamfight niyo.
Yep. At alam din ng Onic PH na may hirapan yung Alice mag-regen pag merong back siya, kaya pinanaagad nila. Which is, ang nangyari dito, ang resulta is pinahirapan nila lalo yung magiging tank pick ni Yawi. Now, I wonder, what kind of tanks Yawi will pick? Will we go back to Carmilla? Will we see the Atlas, which is still open? Or will they go... Kasi ang aggressive dito is yung Carmilla. Pero they go for the Hylos instead. That is a very interesting pick for Yawi.
Sa totoo lang, kung yung Hylos nga napunta dito sa side ng Onic PH, parang lang kung magkakaroon pa ng problema yung NXP Solid eh. Pero at least nakuha na nila yan. It won't be a problem for them.
It's a good counter.
Onic PH naman, they could go for an Atlas kung gugustuhin nila. If they still deem it worthy na piliin dito, they could control the fights. Pwede nilang biglain dito yung side.
Or Akai.
Akai is good as well. Kumbaga, isipin mo, lahat yan papasok eh. So, ibig sabihin, kung pagka meron kang Akai, you can push them back or push them in.
And historically, okay din naman ang Akai ni Jay, di ba? So, I would say that's fine. Now, parang obvious na magiging long-range burst mage talaga ang last pick ng NXP. At instead of all these things, sila ang kumuha ng Chang'e. Interesting.
So, ibig sabihin, tank na nga to. Tank na yung Cho.
Yeah.
And poke mechanic ang gagawin nila dito. Hindi sila magpipilit in terms of facing them head-on. Ito na lang yung isipin natin dito. For NXP Solid, yung ginagawa nilang lineup ngayon, football team. Na kapag nakita nila na maglalaban na, susugod na yan.
Sugod, oo.
Lahat sila diretso. Ang Onic PH, tantsahan. Tantsahan yung laro nila na kapag kunyari pumasok bigla si Alice, biglang mag-on yung setup.
Ang kondisyon naman para mangyari yun is going to be, kailangan tanky yung lineup na agad ng NXP. Kailangan maka-farm sila. So it's going to be up to the mid-game rather. And the Lunox pick, inagaw ng Onic yung dapat na feeling kong magiging pick ng NXP. So they go for the Lunox, which is a very parang last resort pick na lang siya ngayon in terms of support mages, no?
Okay. So, Renegade dito will be using that Lunox. Chester on that support. Khalid. So, ang kailangan mo lang bantayan dito is bakit nag-Lunox dito yung side ng NXP Solid.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, yung damage output kasi dito, ay yung damage sustain na meron dito yung side ng Onic PH. Looking at Alice, looking at Ruby, unti-unti kasi yan eh. As long as nakakagalaw sila, unti-unting umaangat yan. So ano nga ba ginagawa ni Lunox? Yung Lunox, binuburst down ka in big chunks.
Yep.
So ibig sabihin, kung mauuna si Rene J lagi dito in terms of getting yung kills or yung assist or yung levels niya, scaling and whatever, nung pag-regen mo, yung damage output ay ibibigay niya.
Basically, bago ka makapag-regen, bawas-bawas ka na agad sa Lunox na yan. And you have to be careful. As we head into Game 1, mga kaibigan, Onic PH versus NXP Solid.
Wave clear is good for the side of NXP Solid. Wave clear is good din para sa side ng Onic PH. Meron silang Chang'e tsaka Ison Shin. So this is equal in terms of wave clear. Tingnan lang natin dito kung paano yung magiging rotation because a lot of us know that NXP Solid are really creative. Pati din naman ng Onic PH creative sila kapag sa paggagawa ng rotation nila.
Yep, and NXP Solid are going to have a great time to sustain. They will have a... Pag ganitong lineup mo kasi, Tol, sobrang tanky, di ba? Kaya mong gumawa ng invade tulad ng ginagawa nila ngayon. Tiyan mo, look at where NXP Solid is. Kaya nilang mamain yung mga picks na ganito. Especially the Ruby, which is early game, wala pang ultimate, hindi ba siya nakakatakot?
Nakita mo kung paano sila naghiwalay doon. Sila Chester, pumunta agad sila doon sa may orange ng kalaban para kahit papano hindi maagaw sa kanila. And that is going to be extra monsters to take down for NXP Solid.
Napakaaga.
Para naman sa side ng Onic PH, hindi na nila hahabulin yung idea na maniningil kami dahil kinuha nyo yung orange buff namin. Alam na nila na wala yun doon at ang gagawin na lang nila dito
panigurado,
is magpo-focus na lang sila doon sa mga bagay na kaya nila kunin. Kasi naagaw na naman eh.
It's very important to know na objective pa rin. Kahit na ganyan yung lineup nyo, you need to keep your eyes on objectives like this. And I would say na mas magkakaroon ng priority ang NXP ngayon. Dahil dito, no? Itong priority na sinasabi natin dito, especially on the buffs. It's very important. And H2O needs all of these. He needs to catch up in terms of the buffs kasi hindi pa clear yung orange. Bakit? Dahil they're saving it para dun sa turtle. Ayan na yung turtle in 50 seconds. That's why ngayon pa lang nila kinuha yung orange.
So meron silang fighting potential pagdating ng first minute ng game. Tapos ngayon naman, meron uli silang fighting potential dahil sinave nila yung kanilang orange
ayan na
buff.
nga, diba?
And eto, pinasok na sila ni Rene J. And si J dito versus Rene J. Oh, may Venus dito. Look at that positioning. Ang ganda ng ginawa dito ni Ma'am Shoes. Pero kakayanin ba nilang i-secure yung kill dito kay Rene J? Hindi nila makukuha. And wow.
So yun na yun.
Oh, yun na yun.
Yun na yung sinasabi mo kanina, Butters, yung silbi ng Lunox for a target na nag-regen tulad ni Alice. Right? You kill the target right away bago pa niya magamit yung ultimate niya, bago pa siya makahigop ng HP. At kita mo naman yung nangyari. He was not able to recover. Iaknu just got back here. And NXP Solid are ahead in gold.
Maganda yung pinapakitang simula dito ng NXP Solid. Pero Onic PH, in terms of adjusting, kailangan din bantayan sila ng NXP Solid.
Tama,
As we all know, they are really good in adjusting on the fly. Yun yung isa sa mga strengths ng Onic PH na hindi mo matatanggal sa kanila. Ngayon, si Wise, kinukuha niya tong orange buff. Look at Dilar with the pull, and here comes the meteor shower. At eto na si MB, lumilipad na siya. The dragon is here. Pumasok siya dito sa apat. MB with the flicker. Jay going in. He will get the kill. Knock up on Yawi. Iyakno, papasok pa ba siya? Okay.
Di na yata.
Tapos
Di
na.
na yata.
Tapos na.
Okay na.
Tapos na. Kala ko mag-aaway pa eh.
Awat.
Hindi kasi paminsan, dala ng bugso ng damdamin eh. May pumapasok pa eh.
Pumapasok eh. And for the meantime, that's fine. Here we go, Rene J once more with Chaos. So beautifully done there for NXP. Again, once more, admiring the control na pinapakita naman ng Onic PH dito sa mid lane at sa mid game.
May laging call dito. Napapansin ko lang sa lahat ng mga games na nakikita ko from NXP Solid, may call dito si Rene J and si Yawi na lagi silang, si Rene J at si H2O, na nagkasama sila doon sa isang side ng mapa.
At a specific point, no?
Tapos, at a specific point, tapos ang ginagawa nila, tinitake down nila yung katapat ni Rene J. Dinadaan nila sa brusco, dinadaan nila sa damage.
Kasi mag-isa, di ba?
Kasi mag-isa.
That always happens. And that's actually something na napansin ko din, where if you are laning against Rene J or H2, parang you have to watch out kasi they're always near each other. Di ba?
Ang Onic naman, tatandaan natin na sinabi na natin to eh. Pag si Basic ang naglalaro, aggressive. Kapag kasi Wise ang naglalaro, passive pero slowly getting their approach.
Gold ang focus.
Kapag ka nakapag-farm si Wise, doon kayo matakot. Kasi ganun maglaro talaga si Wise. Kumbaga slow but steady.
Tama. And of course, Wise is not gonna be the case here. For the meantime, si Jay naman ang target ng NXP at 5 minutes in the game. 19 seconds on the turtle. They really want that setup. Yakno though facing the wrath of MB. And will be able to get out of there. And that is again the power of the Alice. Ang problema though, si Yakno is medyo nahihirapan na ding mag-survive sa lane niya.
Yun yung kailangan bantayan ng Onic PH dito, yung pag-overextend. Hindi nila afford magbigay ngayon ng kills. Because they know na si Wise lang talaga yung hinaantay nila dito. Wise is going to be the instrument para sila ay makalamang mamaya kapag ka nag-mid-game spike na siya. Si Venus naman dito, tamang sending stars lang.
Sending stars?
O yan send 1 million stars.
Send 1 million stars at masakit
ganun
yun.
Lang.
Magpapanik ka pag nasendan ka ng ganong kadaming stars, di ba?
And ito okay, good move from Onic. Ginawa nila, sila yung pumeso dito, pero this is going to be the lane. And ang bilis ng pag-takedown nila. Ang ganda na ginawa doon ng Onic PH. Ang sabi nila, sige, i-take natin yung turtle, meron tayong retribution, and wala si H2O sa paningin natin. So, ang gawin natin, mabilis naman tayo eh. Unahan natin sila.
That's right. And they have been doing that over and over again because of their raw damage output sa early game, di ba? I wonder if they can keep doing that kasi ngayon, feeling ko naman, like what we've been talking about since for the longest time, ito sa H2O, napaka-stable niyan kumuha ng gold. Like Andy, pasok niyan. Kahit nalulugi ang NXP, expect mo si H2 may gamit. And yun naman yung strength ng hero to. Will that be a problem for Onic later? Let's find out.
Yawi ang napili dito. Yawi ang napili at si Yawi ang tutumba. Iyakno holding on to his lane. Ito yung isa sa ito yung isa sa mga pinaka-importanting bagay as a side lane. Mahawakan mo yung turret mo.
Tama.
Doon sa may baba, yes, sabihin na natin, nagkaroon na ng problema dito si Dilar, nabigay niya na yung side niya. Pero at least hindi pa gaanong nakikita yung epekto nun dito para sa side ng NXP Solid. Kasi hindi naman talaga sila totally pumapasok doon para magnakaw ng mga green monsters. Nandyan, yung buff, makikita mo sila doon once or twice. Pero kasi ling yan eh. Kaya yan mag-in and out sa jungle nang hindi napapansin.
And ang panghuli nila dito is si Jay, which cannot always be, hindi naman pwedeng naka-permanent ling duty lang siya. Ang daming threats dito sa NXP. Kaya medyo nahihirapan din si Jay na mag-prioritize kay H2O. Hindi niya kayang babantayan magdamagan kasi syempre, the rest of NXP also need to be taken care of.
And Halberd is there para kay MB. Wala na tayo masyadong makikitang healing shenanigans dito.
Nahihirapan
na. Para kay Yakno, para kay Dilar. I mean, makikita pa rin natin pero not as effective. Si Rene J ang target nila dito. And the Order of Brilliance, hindi nila mahuhuli si Rene J. Nandun yung knock-up sana kay J. Pero alam mo, sabi ni Rene J doon, kulang. alam ko yung timing.
Yep. And that's
Oy,
not
si
gonna
H2.
be... Oy, H2! Di kanya makuha. Wise will secure that turtle buff.
Oh,
Oh my
Jay!
God! It's a big fight!
Yawi dito going down. Chester dito yung magiging next na target. Wise going in. Rene J dito. Ano magagawa niya? And look at Rene J taking down Wise. Pero will it be enough? Tatlo pa ang kalaban niya dito. And Rene J taking down 2. Pero Onic PH, they get the wipeout.
Wow, beautifully done. And I would say, Rene J, munti ka nang makadali ng madami pa, pero hindi sapat ang regeneration ng Lunox niya para makasurvive doon. Good job for Onic PH for keeping that going for a long time. Kita mo dito, hindi nila ininda yung mga Sea Halberd at kung ano pa dito sa big fight na to.
Ay kung mapapansin mo dito kung paano nila tinake yung fight na yon, si Jay, isang sipa lang ang kailangan. Nakita mo si Wise, sobrang aggressive niya na order of Chaos Darkening rather. Ginamit yun kay Wise. And si Wise, kapag nandun talaga siya sa area na yun, walang takasan.
Walang takasan. And
sa isang Lunox.
That's true. It's very difficult to do that all the time. Especially right now, walang alam mo yung hindi siya may iwasan na skill. Homing yung mga hits ni Lunox eh. Walang takas talaga. Kahit mag-dash out ka palayo.
Alam mo yung pakaramdam yung mga malalaking holin, tapos sinuholin-holin ka
ng pero homing.
Homing yung holin.
Homing eh. Yung holin, masakit.
Homing yung holin, masakit
kahit,
yun.
Kahit mag-tumbling-tumbling ka dyan, hindi yung maiwasan yun.
Hindi mo maiwasan yung holin. Yan nga holin eh.
Pero good job Onic and Onic PH, they knew when to fight at kinuha nila yung oportunidad na hindi nakaposisyon yung NXP in the way that they want.
Okay, si My Venus dito, tingnan mo yung ginagawa niya kay MB. Sinisisoning lang niya.
Magic sarap.
Sinisisoning lang niya kahit paano. Alam mo yun, kumbaga, dagdag spice ng buhay. Dagdag spice ng buhay.
Yes.
Dagdag lasa.
More spice, more thrills.
Okay,
diba?
so napapansin mo na dito, Rockart, di ba? Nakapwesto na sila dito sa may bottom side kasi yung Lord pa-up na.
Yep.
Sabi-sabihin both teams dito, they're giving a lot of importance para sa Lord. And that is the buff. Chester dito going in, stun is there, Dilar dito, makakahatak ba siya?
Oh my God!
Palapit sa Onic! And that is going to be MB taking down Jay. Pero sabi ni Alice dito, pa-region lang, bes. Okay lang ba?
Yep.
Oh
okay,
my goodness.
That was the setup that Onic wanted. Yun yung nasa isip mo tuwing magpipick ka ng isang Ruby. Yung hila sabay blink papunta sa kampi mo. And it happened. I think bihira mangyari yun sa atin, in fairness.
Actually, for NXP Solid, naglakad sila papasok dun eh.
Yeah, they did.
Pinuwesto nila yung sarili nila na mahuhuli sila noon. And si Dilar talagang mag-unload yan. Talagang pipilitin ni Dilar makuha yung hatak na yun.
Yep.
And that was the perfect timing. Sinamahan niya pa ng flicker. It's super effective.
It's super effective. Again, medyo mahirap din as NXP to read these plays kasi nasa bush lang yung Onic eh. I don't know if we're gonna get a replay of that, but definitely we will see that non-stop pa rin ng Onic to provide pressure. The Lord is still gonna be the target here para sa Onic. And NXP, they're trying to defend as long as possible. Sabi nila, clear lang tayo ng clear. Again, we do scale better.
At eto si Yawi ang nabigyan. Lures pathway is used. MB dito going for Oh My Venus. Yun lang yung gusto niya talaga kay Venus. Matanggal yung armor, yung shield ni Venus. Kasi pagka natanggal niya yung shield ni Venus, mabagal yung damage output niya. Tumumba na dito si Yawi. Chester will be the next one. Tutumba din siya, pero Rene J ang hinatak na naman dito ni Dilar. Order of Brilliance nandyan, pero the damage, is it enough? Yes, it will be. Nandun sa may likod si H2O just blocking out the creeps. It's what Link players do talaga to, alam mo yon, magkaroon lang ng onting lamang or space para dito sa kanyang team. NXP Solid, ginagawa nila lahat dito para makabawi, but still Onic PH hindi nila hinahayaan yun.
That's true. And sobrang decisive ng Onic PH taking the team fights that they know they can take. Ayan na. Nakuha nila yung objectives that they want, pero at the same time, yung sinabi natin tungkol kay H2O, kahit na nabi-behind ang NXP Solid, he will still be able to get gold around the map with the picks that he gets. So, hindi pa naman tapos, although it's a really big gold lead here, 9,000 para sa Onic PH sa puntong 12.5 minutes.
Dilar, tumatambay siya dito and this is not a really good place to be in right now.
Yep, medyo subukan yung tumalon sa wall.
Medyo talagang ipit na ipit talaga siya dito. So, ang daming beses sinubukan tumalon
pader,
sa wall.
ilang beses yun, bilangin natin.
Ang dami niyang pader.
Ang kapal ng pader, men.
Alam mo itong series na to, masasabi ko lang dito. pwede mo malaman kung sa ano to sa TikTok. After nito, kunyari, may nanalo na dito, di ba? Kung sino man manalo sa kanila, okay lang naman sa atin kahit anong mangyari.
Siyempre.
Pagka tapos nito, yung rematch na nito, one time lang kasi to, so TikTok na yung next, tsaka playoffs. Pero mauuna yung TikTok kasi matagal pa yung playoffs. Pero dito, si Iyakno, pumasok na siya, and that is going to be the blood off. Tingnan natin kung magagamit niya uli yung Blood Ode mamaya-maya. The Lord is there, pinapalo-palo si H2O. Jay going in, pero the dash out from H2O. Timely to get away from Jay.
And no minions. Yes, no minions.
Ganun na naman!
Oy,
Ganun na naman!
The moves like Jaeger. Ayan si Jay. Gumagalaw na naman, and it's going to be a wipeout for NXP. Onic PH clean out the towers, they clean out the minions, and they will go for the finish.
And Onic, PH, weathering the storm nung early game. Tanggal na ang first game curse.
Tanggal na
NXP solid. Mag-uusap-usap sila ngayon. What are the adjustments na pwede nilang gawin? Nahawakan nila yung early game Ang lakas nung draft nila, yung setup nila. Khalid, Yuzhong, even yung Lunox made a lot of sense.
It did. Ang ganda actually yung Lunox pick.
Ang ganda ng Lunox pick kasi nakikita natin si Renegade sa mga pwesto na talagang sa gitna nung Torre siya, sa gitna ng first and second turret siya pumipwesto, and he really got a lot of kills because of that set or that play. Pero alam mo, ang dami pang pwedeng mangyari dito sa game number 2. I just feel that Onic PH meron pa silang isang plano dito na tinatago nila para talaga matapos yung 2-0. Pero alam mo sila YOLO, si Rio dito sa kabila, I'm sure he's very capable of teaching yung mga players niya to how to draft and properly pattern themselves for the victory ng game number 2. Pero sila YOLO, hindi rin naman magpapatalo.
Yep, exactly. And I think we will definitely see a lot more coming from them. I expect great things from the next draft here against Onic PH versus NXP.
We are also expecting Shinbu to, actually catch na etong segment na to with this segment. So Shinbu, what is your analysis?
Ladies and gentlemen, what a series. Rather, Game 1 ng series natin between NXP and Onic PH. Maraming salamat syempre sa mga casters natin and mga cam dito sa ating solo analyst segment. No? Let's go into the post-game kaagad ng ating laban because we have an interesting drafting sequence na nangyari dito. No? With the show priority na ginawa ng Onic doon, mga tol, is nag-secure kaagad syempre ng Khalid and Yuzhong yung NXP. Totally understandable. Actually, these are solid picks kaagad, no? But, a very basic answer din mula sa side ng Onic PH, which is of the Alice plus the YSS, no? And of course, with the Alice being locked in, there's a second set of bander. Inalis na lang nila yung backsha, removing that for a side lane opportunity and even a pickup para kay Yawi. Yawi has been stepping up his game recently. Maybe on the Kufra, not so much on the backsha, but still stepping up, no? So, hindi na yung nabigyan ng chance para makuha kay Yawi. Yawi was relegated into choosing a high loss here for the second to the last pick ng NXP, no? But much to our surprise, the MVP here, which I think did work, ang ganda ng element and plano dito ng NXP would be of that Lunox, no? Of that Lunox. Now, let's look into the post-game. Bakit, no? Napaka-impactful nung Lunox ni Renegade. This is actually a very high engage comp, no? You got the Cho, you have the Ruby, very durable, and you also have the Alice, no? Heroes na can pass through a very, defensive front line, like in the form of this Yuzhong and also Khalid, except that instead of tankiness, no, instead of durabilities, they're dueling gods. Napaka-solid nito, no? So, ang ginagawa lang nila Iyakno dyan, they want to sustain, sinagot din yung Ruby. I cannot but feel that members dito ng Onic PH was able to answer properly yung security kaagad doon sa Yuzhong at Khalid. At napapansin ko rin ating mga manonood na hindi na ganun masyadong binaban yung Yuzhong. Yung mga teams natin parang hinahayaan na lang yung Yuzhong. And their expected playmaker, no, sa side ng Onic po ay si Jay on that show, no? And what Renegade did, he countered Jay. Renegade makes sure na even though this kind of slow-moving composition mula sa NXP, pagdating sa mga laban, kumpara kasi sa Kufra, no, mas mabilis syempre yung initiates ng NXP kung Kufra yan, is Renegade always follows up na lang. 'Di ba? on that playmaking attempt ni Jay dito. Actually, if you move into the smart highlights of the game, we have a sizable amount of highlight here, no? Kung saan NXP was able to get invasion. There is a classic cut mula kay Rene J, no? Mula ka agad doon sa side. And that is a very heavy punishment din para kay Jay dito, no? So, hindi ko harangan yan. Yan, Rene J has been racking up good amount of kills for this part. Now, this is where the new hero of the Onic side shines through. And that is of Dilar. Napaka-disruptive ni Dilar dito. And ngayon lang ulit tayo nakakita ng Ruby na hindi lang naman dueling capacity si Ruby eh. May ult yan na napakalaki, diba? You can actually see how he used